My parents are in their 70s and they received both doses of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. Today, I'm telling you the symptoms that they had after their vaccination. That's right. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. I'm a practicing family physician. I'm an on-air health expert and a video creator. I do COVID videos and health videos every single day. By the way, if you're interested in this type of content, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell to get updates. So for those of you who are not familiar with Mama and Papa Caudle, they are my dear parents. And boy, let me tell you, were they excited to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And by the way, as their daughter, I was super excited as well. I mean, there is nothing like the relief that comes from knowing that your parents are vaccinated against the COVID virus. By the way, I got my COVID vaccine as well. I got the Moderna vaccines. The first and second one. And by the way, I did a video, a series, a playlist on my COVID vaccination journey. You can take a look at that. I'll put the description in the comments. I'll also put the videos linking to the symptoms I had. But today is all about Mama and Papa Caudle, by the way. They are amazing. So they were super excited to get their vaccine. And I'm going to tell you about the symptoms that they had because they did have them. Now, first of all, I should tell you, let me get my notes. The first vaccine, when they first got it, they had very few symptoms, if many at all, for the very first vaccine. That's right. They took Motrin after they received the vaccine just to kind of deal with any muscle pain that they might have gotten later on. And they did get some muscle pain in the arm that they got the vaccine in. But honestly, guys, it was really nothing. I mean, when I tell you they were like back to their usual shenanigans in no time, they really were. And by the way, guys, once again, my parents are in their early 70s. So yes, and as their concerned daughter, of course, I was like calling them every 5 minutes, being like, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Even though I'm a doctor and I got the vaccine myself, but whatever. You never stop being a daughter, right? You never stop being your parents' child. Anyway. So that's the first vaccine. Did okay. They were like, it was like easy peasy. They just kind of blew through that perfectly fine. The second vaccine comes up and of course they are very excited. I am excited for them to get it as well. They go and get the vaccine, by the way. This is Mama and Papa Caudle getting their second vaccine. Yeah, they took pictures both times because what is the COVID vaccine if you do not take selfies of the Band-Aids, of you getting the shot? That's sort of like a prerequisite, right? That's sort of mandatory. But anyway, long and short, after the second dose, the second vaccine, they went home and they actually took some Motrin, kind of like they did the first time, to prophylax against any muscle pains that they might have gotten later. And then they lay down to take a nap. Now, the nap is not because they were fatigued from the vaccine. The nap actually is because they woke it up really early to get to the vaccine site that morning to make sure they were on time and things like that. And they were also super excited. And you know how that goes when you like can't sleep the night before and you're super excited, et cetera, et cetera. And by the way, guys, the symptoms I'm about to tell you about, or any symptoms at all, I'm not telling you them to scare you. Remember that symptoms that we might get after getting our COVID vaccine is simply a sign that the vaccine is working in our body. And by the way, if you don't get symptoms afterwards, it doesn't mean the vaccine's not working. So don't worry if you don't get symptoms. I got the Moderna vaccines and I had some symptoms afterwards, but I had colleagues that were like on their Peloton bike that very night, just sort of, riding away, no pain, no issues at all. So everybody's body is going to be very, very different. But what's really important is that we get this vaccine. So anyway, back to Mama and Papa Caudle. So they get the vaccine, they take some Motrin, they get home, they take a nap. They wake up, this is later in the day of their second vaccine, and they have some arm pain. But otherwise they were kind of doing okay. And I got my notes here because they told me detailed notes about how they did. It was that first night, however, that they woke up in the middle of the night with symptoms. And I have to say that my mom in general had worse symptoms after the second vaccine than my dad had, but they both had symptoms. So in the middle of the night, they both woke up. They had chills. They felt like they couldn't get warm. You know that feeling where it's like you feel like bone cold. They got up and actually put robes on and like sweatshirts and things like that, and then jumped in bed under the covers. That feeling when you're super cold and you can't warm up. They also had some muscle aches at that time that they noticed, and they really just didn't feel their best. Now, they didn't take their temperature at that time, but that's how they felt, and they actually took some Motrin to help them kind of get back to sleep and sort of soothe some of their symptoms, which it did. It helped them get back to sleep, and they could sleep through the night and everything like that. When they woke up on the second day, however, they still had symptoms. Now, my dad's symptoms were less than my mom's. My mom still had some pretty decent muscle aches. She had some chills. She actually had a low-grade temp. She started taking her temp on the second day, and she was really pretty fatigued. I mean, she kind of wasn't herself. I mean, I know my mom, and she was just she was a little punky. You know, she was kind of just not herself. Dad was still not quite herself, but still like 50% better than mom. And by the way, at this point, at the second day, they're still kind of taking Motrin regularly to deal with arm symptoms and the other stuff, okay? And so then as we move into the evening of the second day, okay, so we're now into the evening of the second day, mom is still like kind of wrapped up in like, you know, she's got a robe on, she's got like blankets on her, she's sitting on the couch watching TV with her hot tea, feeling just kind of, you know, like punky still a little bit. Better than she did the night before, like the middle of the night before, but still not great. Dad, oh my God, he's perfectly fine. He's like, hey, Jen, how you doing? he's his usual self. Dad is great. He's chilling like a villain, okay? And so they end up going to bed. Mom took some Motrin before bed just to make sure she was okay. Now, through the night, this is the second night, Dad slept like a baby. Of course, right? He just slept through the night, did great. Mom, however, woke up in the middle of the night with some different symptoms. She actually had some nausea when she woke up in the middle of the night. And to try to help soothe her symptoms, she drank some warm water. She just didn't want anything cold on her stomach. She also she drank some ginger ale. She walked around a little bit, just trying to ease some of the gas sensations that she had. She was a bit uncomfortable. She eventually felt like, you know, the gas was sort of relieving and resolving itself, and she eventually was able to go back to sleep and get more sleep. And by the way, she still kind of felt like not quite herself, but aside from the nausea, was still better than she had been before. Okay, so then we're coming up into the morning of the third day when they wake up. Of course, Dad's like, oh, I'm waking up, you know. And my mom actually, by the third day, really started to feel better as well. In fact, they stopped taking Motrin on the third day. By the way, they are as good as new. It just took a little longer for Mom than Dad, but by the third day, they were doing just fine. A-okay, tip-top shape, back to their usual self, playing Scrabble, you know, doing all the stuff around the house that they do, you know, whatever my parents do. That's what they were doing. And they are doing really, really great, guys. So again, I tell you these symptoms not to scare you, but to let you know what may be something that you experience so that you're not afraid or alarmed if they happen, or so that you don't become alarmed or afraid if you hear someone else say they have these symptoms. Remember, it's just a sign of your immune system working if you get symptoms at all. Remember, one of the most important things about this whole situation is to get the vaccine. And I have to say, the best symptom I ever had from getting this vaccine, by the way, was the feeling of gratitude and relief. I mean, you want to talk about being relieved? Get that COVID vaccine and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, obviously we still have to wear masks and do all that kind of stuff. But man, talk about being like, oh, and I feel that way now that my parents in their early 70s have gotten it too. And you know, as a child, you certainly want nothing more than for your parents to be as protected and safe as they possibly can be. So, guys, I hope this is helpful. Again, I do daily health videos. I'm Dr. Jen Caudle, by the way, family physician, practicing family physician. I was in the office today. I do daily health videos and COVID videos. So make sure you subscribe to my channel if you like any of this stuff. Also, click the little bell to get updates. I also have memberships, so please consider joining. You get discounts on merchandise and all sorts of fabulous stuff. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will be back soon.